So whether you support President Biden or maybe you support President Trump, no matter where your affiliation is politically, we are called as Christians to submit to the authority that is governing over us.
You're now tuned in to the Bible Breakdown.
Welcome to the Bible Breakdown.
Welcome to the Bible Breakdown.
Bible breakdown some scripture.
Let's do this.
Now let's jump in.
Let's dive right in.
Time to dive into this word.
Welcome back to the Bible Breakdown. I'm so excited that you're joining with me today. Listen, today's going to be a good one. All right. We're going to be discussing, no matter your political view, no matter where you stand on the aisle, left or the right, Democrat or Republican or Green Party, somewhere in the middle of all of those things, we are called as Christians. All right. I'm talking to my Christians. OK, so if you're not a Christian, just hear me out, listen to what I have to say. And if you are a Christian, you already know the vibes, but I'm just going to be repeating something you already know, but we're going to get into it. So this is 1 Peter chapter 2. This is going to be the part 2. All right. Last week, we already did part 1. So if you missed it, go back. Whoops. I don't know what that noise was, but go back and check out that episode. I was going to do like a rewind thing, but I don't feel like editing that. Okay, let's move on. So we're going to actually begin in 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 13. All right, so follow along if you have your Bible. If not, I'm going to be reading it. Verse 13 says, submit yourselves for the Lord's sake to every human authority. Okay, let's pause right there, because a lot of times as Christians, we like to say, well, if they don't stand for what I believe, if they don't stand for my belief system, my political views, if they don't want to give me more tax money, boom, whatever the case is, we like to depart right here. We like to say, you know what, that's not my president. I ain't rocking with him. He doesn't stand for what I believe. That's not even, no. I'm going to read this again. It says, submit yourselves for the Lord's sake to every human authority. Now, this is for me too. This is not easy. This is difficult. You know what I'm saying? And it says, let's continue. It says, whether to the emperor as the supreme authority, aka president, or to the governors, we have governors, who are sent by him to punish those who do wrong and to commend those who do right. For it is God's will that by doing good, you should silence the ignorant talk of foolish people. Live as free people, but do not use your freedom as a cover up for evil. Okay, so right here, we're seeing what God is saying. He's saying, listen, even the governors are sent to punish those who do wrong. All right, now you might be saying, well, listen, the president or the governor, whoever it is, does not support what I believe the Bible is saying. Why should I submit to this person when the Bible is clearly discussing somebody who's in leadership who is good and who wants to punish those who do bad? Well, check it out. You don't think that during this time there were emperors who did bad? We could talk about Nero, who wanted to persecute Christians, who would kill Christians, burn Christians, tie them to animals and rip them apart, eat all the above. Even though people are evil, people are, nobody is good inherently, right? We are choosing to live like Christ. So do we expect our leadership to always, to choose Christ as we choose Christ? And when they don't align with us, do we still honor them? Okay, so we're actually going to go down to verse 20. It says, but how is it to your credit if you receive a beating for doing wrong and endure it? But if you suffer for doing good and you endure it, this is commendable before God. Okay, boom, let's pause right there. If you suffer for doing good, okay, that means that you are doing something good, righteous, of God, following what you believe the Bible is saying. Leadership now comes, right? President or governors, or if you live in another country, you might have a king or queen, right? Whatever the case is, the people over you, if you're a Christian, you should honor them, because even if you get punished for doing good, Jesus is the perfect example. Jesus, the leadership that was over him, still crucified him. He did no wrong. He only did good. So you might feel like, I don't believe that they believe the same things politically as me. So you don't go and talk about them like they a dog. No, you pray for them. Think about this. It's hard to hate on somebody that you're praying for. How can you say, God, please bless them, and then be like, I hate them in the next breath? You can't do it. Not if you're truly praying to God. So pray for your leadership. Pray for those that don't align with you biblically, that are in leadership, because they are going to influence the world. And we know this. But, it says it right here. Let's go in verse 21. It says, to this you were called because Christ suffered for you. Christians, we're talking to y'all. To this you were called. If you call yourself a Christian, you want to be all bold about everything else, like I'm a Christian, whatever the case is. You want to plant your flag in a lot of places. Well, a lot of times politics, we all we go this way or we go this way, and we are staunch and we're not changing for nobody because I do not stand for what they stand for. The reality is, think about the leadership that crucified Jesus. That was the governing body. Jesus still didn't disrespect them. He still didn't call them out like dogs, because guess what? They didn't believe that he was the son of God. They didn't believe in his stance on whatever the political view that you might have is. Jesus still set the example. He still took his cross, people yelling at him, berating him. He still did it all for you and I. So it's not above us to take a pause and say, you know what? Let me stop berating who is in leadership. let me stop talking about who was in leadership. Let me stop talking about who's the governor. Let me stop talking about who's the mayor. Let me stop talking about who's a police chief, school board, whatever the case is. Let's honor people. There's always, you can always choose something. That's like, nobody is all bad. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always some underlying attribute. Try to find that. Pray for the person that you are having a hard time submitting to that leadership. And this has been the Bible Breakdown. I'm so glad that you joined us. Seriously, I want you to check out 1 Peter chapter 2 for yourself. This is going to wrap up this chapter. Next week, we're going to be in chapter 3. I want you guys to join me on the Bible Breakdown. Let me just say thank you, everybody, for subscribing. Thank you, everybody who is commenting on these, who is sharing these posts. I truly, truly appreciate it and love all you guys. And make sure you stay tuned next week for the Bible Breakdown.